director for the years 1963 through 1968. We are honoring Mr. Strohl tonight for his accomplishments during those years. During his tenure at Perkins, the choir grew to over 100 voices, making up the mixed chorus, concert chorus, girls chorus, and smaller men's and women's ensembles. Jay's enthusiastic personality and obvious passion for music excellence attracted students. Choir was a fun class. I had the privilege of being one of Mr. Strohl's students for 4 of his 5 years. In those 5 years, Jay led us on a journey of unforgettable experiences. There was the first school musical, Swinging High, a televised performance in Cleveland, and many, many community performances. Mr. Strohl took the choir to see a college production of Brigadoon. This was a big deal. For many students, it was their first introduction to a college campus. Our concerts were grand productions of great music accented with black lights, videos, skits, anything to enhance the show. Then there were trips to district and state choir contests. Our choirs and ensembles consistently came home with excellent and superior ratings under his direction. Mr. Strohl had the patience, expertise, and personality to motivate high school students to perform at their best. He pushed and guided us to levels we didn't know were possible. I remember alto sectionals where we were learning our parts and once having to write out the lyrics of our music to show we had it memorized. This guy meant business. But with a sense of accomplishment when the pieces all came together. Mr. Strohl exposed us to a variety of music genres. I still catch myself singing snippets of songs we sang in choir all those years ago. J. Strohl built a remarkable music program during his tenure, but in my eyes, his true legacy is the connections he made with his students. He touched our hearts and gave us a lifelong love of music. It is my honor to present the Distinguished Staff Award to J. Harris Strohl.
That felt like the long and winding road. That's a nice tune, but Kathy was one of my students in both choir and ensemble from 8th grade actually through her senior year. And having had students like Kathy, as well as a number of other former students in the room tonight, students who are dedicated, motivated, with a passion for the work, is in part why teachers and coaches love to teach. Thank you, Kathy, for your kind remarks. And I want to thank the Perkins Alumni and Friends Association, especially the members of the selection committee for recognizing that work. It's great to have my family here tonight. Family, friends, and former students, all in the same room and at the same time. Many have come from out of town, some from out of state. My brothers and sisters and I grew up on a farm in Fremont. I was the eldest. My dad was a sharecropper. It had been my grandparents' farm, and as a kid, when I was old enough, I had chores. I had cows to milk, cattle to feed, made hay in the hot, sweaty summer. I planted cabbage, picked strawberries, cherries, sweet corn, and melons. It makes me hungry just the older I get, the more I love to eat. I used to learn the hoe pretty well back then as well. And I both loved it and hated it. Music has the power to to make an incredible difference in a person's life. I went K through 12 in Fremont, and like many kids, I came to the high school experience filled with energy and potential. All that for me found its way into both the band and choir program at Fremont Ross, and eventually then on to Bowling Green. It was the second summer after completing my undergraduate work. I was directing the chorus in Brigadoon for Fremont Community Theater when Joe Chidley, the then Clyde High School director, told me about an opening in Perkins in music. So within a week, I had an interview with Tom Hartley, the executive head, and Roger Moore, the high school principal. Was hired shortly after coming to Perkins in the fall of 1963. This is probably a good time to hear what followed. I'd like you to hear a little bit of the Perkins High School a cappella choir as it sounded back in the mid-60s. And those of you up front here may be startled initially because we want to project it so that the folks in the back can hear as well. So just, if you will, be prepared. As you listen, you'll hear no piano or any other instrumentation. It's just the pure sound of their voices. The people keep a coming, and the train done gone. It's been nearly 50 years since the train done gone, and that group of young people from Perkins came together to make music. Some of the alumni, both who made that recording and others preceding them who provided the foundation for that sound, are in the room tonight. And it was my great good fortune to have them in my groups back then. And I was and am so very proud of them. And the time that I spent at Perkins was the best of my career in music education. Music has the power to make an incredible difference in a person's life. Years later, I had the opportunity to start the Perkins Alumni and Friends Choir. That's the untrue. I had the opportunity to start the Perkins Alumni and Friends Choir, and it was a chance to see former students again and to work with many Perkins friends who sang in the group. Some of the founding members are with us tonight, as is my wife, who worked as the accompanist and screened much of the music that was selected in performance. It was also a privilege to be a part of the Perkins 50th celebration. There's something about music that can be experienced by most anyone, anywhere, anytime. People listening to or getting together or making music is a good thing. And it doesn't matter if it's a choir, a band, a rock band, or just a few folks getting together. There's a sense of community developed through these experiences, and it's in that music making that we learn many important life skills. Music has the power to make an incredible difference in a person's life. Thank you for this evening, this honor, and the opportunity to again share the sound of the Perkins High School a cappella choir from an earlier time. Perkins is, always has been, always will be special. Thank you.